Welcome, my little saints and sinners. You are watching my new video on Dolphins 13. Today we are talking about the sin that aims to kill. We are talking about wrath, anger. So, in history, many times, anger had come to kill many of those kings and queens in situations. So, how did it become a sin? Basically, all sins were written down by a monk. And then a few years, a few hundred years later, another Christian man made them into the seven deadly sins. So that's kind of a little thing of how the sins became the seven deadly sins. But they believe that Jesus, when he was born, there was a king. You know the story with Jesus being born. And the king was jealous or angered because he was going to be the king of all kings. He was going to be the king of the Jews and everything like that. And basically, the king did not like that. But the story that they don't tell you is that the king started to kill children at the age of firstborn to the age of 2 years old, and they were being slaughtered, murdered. But joyfully, Jesus got escaped, and the parents went to Egypt. Wrath is one of those sins that are. It's okay to have the sin. It's an emotion. It's one of those things that you deal with. But when you act on the sin, that when it actually is the sin, because you can have an emotion of anger when you build it up, when you deal with an emotion, then that's fine. But when you break something because of anger, when you hurt someone because of anger, when you say something that's anger, that is a sin. So it's kind of interesting for that because the sin is not a sin unless you interact with it or interact with it. And one of the things is Lucifer. Lucifer is one of people say Lucifer is the main of anger. He tries to make you angry. He tries to bring you to the angry side. He tries to bring you to the wrath and how to. He tries to concept you into actually doing the wrath of it, and that's kind of the thing. He tries to control you with it, and it builds up and it holds you, and it can destroy you in wrath because wrath is one of the deadliest because it can lead to murder. A lot of murders are wrath because he slept with him, he slept with her, blah blah blah, and then they get murdered. And also, there's a thing of a law. It is called crime by emotions, crime by feelings, crime by something. And basically, there was a man in the 1800s or whatever kind of time period, and he knew that his wife was cheating on him with a friend or someone, and then basically he decided to kill them. And it kind of brought it in, and he shot him once, and the guy pleaded, and then shot him twice, and he died. And then he went to jail, and he pled for a few moments of insanity because there's this thing inside your brain that kind of senses you to not do it. It kind of senses you of this is kind of not right, and it also kind of senses you of fight or flight. Basically, you can fight or you can flee, and when you don't have that at those moments, it kind of censors it. And he actually got out. He actually he was free, and it's quite interesting for that because a lot of people have that. A lot of people have the fight or flight kind of thing, and when you're angry, you kind of know not to kill. So there was also one in the 19 somethings, 1990s, 1980s, something like that kind of period, and he was mentally disabled, and he basically, his mother and him had kind of an argument. They didn't really, the relationship was kind of untangling, and she basically said, "I want you to move." So he got mad. He got really mad and everything like that, and he picked up a vase or something close to him, and he beat her to death. And at that moment, he didn't have control because they did a scan on him and he's missing front of his frontal lobe, and that's what it is. The anger kind of definition, the anger kind of situation of knowing what to do, kind of thing. If you flee or flight, or kind of handling the situation of do I kill or do not kill, that kind of wasn't there. So they kind of gave evidence, and he was now in the mental hospital. So it's interesting because anger is one of those things that it's also in the spirit, but it's also in the mind too. Kind of the situation of you cannot have the flee and flight, so you just kill people when you're angry, which is kind of sad because people get angry so easily nowadays, and it kind of brings off murder. There's a lot of situations a lot easier when you don't like them, especially if you watch The Purge. If you don't like someone, if you're angry, you wait for the purge time and then you kill. I always see that people killing each other, killing um, strangers because they just feel angry, which is quite interesting because in those kind of periods of times, no one's stealing or anything. I would steal everything if I could. Nothing would be melted down if it's going to be with me. Anger of those times and situations, so in the purge, they kill and they get angry, so they hold it up and bottle it until that time of period. So it's quite fascinating because it's always throughout the whole year, you're fine. Throughout the whole time, you're perfectly fine. But when it comes to that time, you just kill. You may kill the person that you just had an argument with. You may kill strangers because of whatever. So wrath can destroy a family, can destroy everything. Words, and everything. In my situations, I can personally say when I'm angry or whenever I go in for the kill, not actually kill, but I go in for the kill with actually saying with my words, of saying mean things. I go in for the actual murder kind of situation, and that's kind of a thing. Also, God was angry at us. God was mad at the creation of humanity. He killed everything. He basically wiped out everything besides one man, Mozart, not Mozart, something Moses. He left Moses to rebuild and everything like that. So yeah, anger can be such a controlling thing, but when you feel it, it's fine. But when you do it, it's not. When you do an action of wrath. So thank you very much for watching my video. Hopefully you learned something about anger, and hopefully you can control your anger. Tell me in the links below. Tell me in the comments below when you've been angry. Thank you very much. My name is Alice Sweet, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help a Game Boy out. Bye! Mwah.